So guys, I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit of where I felt like I was being led in regards to the new moon. Because I know a lot of people are saying, well, is that the full moon? And there are quite a few people talking about the full moon right now. Um, Listen, if they received a message in regards to the full moon, then by all means they should follow the full moon and what the Lord is telling them in regards to that. But that's not where the Lord was pointing me. He is pointing me to the new moon being a warning. Now, guys, with that being said, I also need to say this. Um, Not every message is going to be for everybody, okay? There's going to be times when a message is going to be for a specific area, for a specific group of people. It could be for a specific location, a specific country. It could be for any type of breakdown of that. If it is for everyone, then most definitely you will receive confirmation of that in your spirit. Your spirit will resound with that to identify that that message is for you. So we need to discern the messages, identify what is for us at this time, and just keep moving forward. So try not to allow all the information that is coming out all at one time right now to confuse you, to allow it to become heavy and heavy laden upon you. That is not from the Lord. There is a lot going on right now. There is a lot of information we need to know and be aware of right now. But the biggest thing that we need to do is, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all of the information that is out there, is to block yourself off. Go into prayer with the Lord and have Him talk to you one-on-one. That is where you're going to receive your strength. That is where you're going to be restored. That is where you're going to be understanding completely what the plan is for you specifically. The messengers can share all of the warnings out there that they possibly can and are able to do with and through technology and everything else. But I need to put it out there before you. Okay? The Spirit of the Lord is peace. Okay? It is not anxiety. It is not fear. It is not any of those fleshly types of emotions. So if you are feeling overwhelmed with things, please stop. Distance yourself from all of the things and go into prayer one-on-one with the Lord. That is what I have to do at times. That is what many other messengers have to do at times. And if you're just trying to catch up and learn and cram all this information into you as quickly as you can, I need to say you're going to need a break as well. Take a little bit of time. Spend some time one-on-one, sitting at the feet of the Lord, and you will come up refreshed and renewed. I can guarantee you that. All right, so there's a couple other things I wanna talk to you about then, in regards to the same day on the 21st. I was sent a video, and I'm just making a note of this because it's going to tie in later on. I was sent a video by Pearl, and it was where she was talking about the menorah and the feasts working their way to the center, and I found that video to be eye-opening. I found that video almost hard to grasp for myself, not because it was hard to understand, but because of kind of where the Lord was already leading me into the menorah study myself, but not with the feast. He wasn't pointing me toward the feast, or maybe he was working his way to point me toward the feast, but he was pointing me toward the spirits of God, the seven spirits of God. And so when I entered in to see that video and then started understanding about the feasts and how everything was going to be fulfilled, and what everybody's different thoughts were on it, and whatnot, I was really starting to get confused, and just like you guys, just like what I just said, I had to back away, and I had to tone it down for a little bit, and I'm going to be seeking the Lord in regards to that. I'm not ready to share that at this time. That is forthcoming, though. I wanted to just make note here that when I went in to talk to the Lord about that, you know, when I was talking about Sister Pearl's video with the Lord, I was impressed to look up the word tabernacle. I felt the Lord say, you need to look up the word tabernacle. And when I looked up the word tabernacle, it it means mikshon. It means residence or dwelling place. And it was the portable earthly dwelling place of Yahweh among the children of Israel from the time of the Exodus from Egypt through the conquering of the land of Canaan. And so it was a tent. It was a temporary dwelling, a temporary habitation. And so one where God could tabernacle with his people. He could be among them and be around them. Memorandum time that they were going through the desert. So I wanted to just bring that up because the Lord is pointing me toward tabernacle. He's pointing me toward it. He's pointing a lot of messengers toward it. And so I want to just kind of just make note of that right here. So when I went into the number 8, and we'll probably just look at the number 9 also. Let's just go ahead and pull that up right quick. Let me get into where I need to be here. Here we go. Hebrew numbers. This is the grace in Torah that I shared that one time with you. So let me go ahead and get in here, and we're going to take a look at number 8. One down. We already looked at 4 and 5. Recall, before the storm we looked at 4 and 5. Let's read what number 8 says, and I think we're going to go into number 9 as well, if we have enough time here. I think we do. All right, so number 8 means to literally make fat, new beginnings, not just complete like the number 7, but like satiated or satiated. Becoming fat is having more than enough, full to overflowing, and it moves from the natural to the supernatural. It transcends natural time and space to supernatural realm. Now, guys, if that didn't excite you right there, nothing will, okay? That's all I have to say about that. If that did not excite you, nothing will. The pictograph, this right here, means a wall, a fence, protect, new beginning, separation, sin outside, and olam olam. Now, when I was going through here and taking a look at all of this, I was identifying that transfiguration occurred on the 8th day. Now, isn't this interesting? Because that is what we were talking about earlier, okay? We were talking about that in videos earlier. Remember, we know that it is tied in with the tabernacles too. It's tied into Sukkot, because in Luke 9, we identified that Peter wanted to build 3 tabernacles for Yeshua, Moses, and Elijah. And so this is a direct reference to the season of transfiguration, Sukkot. Okay, let me say that again. Transfiguration, the season of transfiguration, according to this description, is identifying it as Sukkot, okay? Or the Feast of Tabernacles, the season of transfiguration. Now, guys, that's pretty interesting. I just need to say that that's really interesting. It also reveals the realm outside of natural time and space. Okay. That's extremely interesting. Remember, guys, from those videos in the back in time where we were digging in, and you guys can go back and take a look at it. We were digging into Einstein's theory, relativity and space and time, and I had that dream about I saw my daughter outside of time. We were outside of time. I asked how was I going to be able to communicate with her, and I was told I could leave a note of some sort. Recall that video, and if you haven't seen that video, please go back because there was some really interesting information in there. So when this is saying that it is a fence, a wall, protection, a new beginning, separation, and this is talking about moving from natural to supernatural, transcending natural time and space to supernatural realm. Guys, that is, I'm telling you, I read this, the number 8 here, as to what the Hebrew definition was and everything that was tied into it. And if I wasn't feeling so bad, I'd be up doing cartwheels right now. I mean, seriously, guys, this is pointing to a lot of what the Lord has been giving us all along. Okay, all these little pieces and nuggets, different things. I want to talk to you too about a message that the Lord gave me on the 17th of September. And let me flip through in my journal to see. I don't want to read the whole thing, but I do want to read something because he's pointing me to transfiguration, not only with this and also prior to this in some of those other videos, but he brought it to me in a message on September the 17th where he was talking about the spirit quickening. In this message, he said, I have placed you in spiritual places, which we know is Ephesians 2. I've called you to escape such things, Luke 21. The hand that guides you, it says, you shall not have to worry about the hand that guides you, for it shall never fail. Now, guys, that's Isaiah 11. The one who shall call you forth unto the unknown of the world. They cannot see nor hear what I am about to show you because they can't. They're blinded. They can't see nor hear, and nor do they understand what we're trying to say anyway. They think we're talking in, I don't know, tongues, I guess. So 1 Corinthians 2, verses 11 through 13. There will be, okay, now here's this is the part. There will be time to manifest my way upon your life, although the spirit will be quickened here. That's what he said. The spirit will be quickened here. And so I started digging into, I kind of understood maybe just a drop of water into the ocean amount of information regarding what the spirit quickening truly meant and what it was pointing to. And guys, what I found out in my studies, you guys can go and continue on in studies regarding this because I'm just now getting started to delve back into it. I've got about 15 irons in the fire that I'm trying to keep stoked all at once. That's just how much information seems to be flowing right now. But the spirit quickening is identified in 3 types. It's identified as transfiguration, which we were talking about on the Mount of Transfiguration in recent videos. It's talking about translation, which is something completely different from transfiguration. It's also talking about relocation. It's talking about resurrection. And we talked about some of these changes because remember the Lord had told us 2 sons equals 2 changes, right? That's what he said. He said two sons equals 2 changes. And so when I started digging all into this, guess who, of all people, guess who came across my path when I was trying to dig in and I found some information documented in regards to this in-depth stuff about the quickening of the spirit? Mr. Ian Clayton again. Remember the dark cloud and the study and the PDF that I provided from Ian Clayton? Well, here he is, and he's got some more information out there. Praise God. Thank God he posts some of the stuff that he posts because this is stuff that people just don't talk about and they don't provide information for. We're going to come back to the next video to get started again. God bless you. See you soon.